just gotta talk to you. You're not in trouble. Come here. Come here. Stop. You're not in trouble. Come here. Come here. I'm not gonna walk all the way down the street for you. Come here. It's freezing out. Stop.
No!
Stop. 247.
I am not.
247.
I got her at 76 Harris. Just start a rig.
Get off of me!
Stop. What's going on?
Get off of me!
What's going on?
Get off of me!
I'm not gonna get off.
Get off!
What is going on? How can I help you?
Get off of me!
No, because
I don't
you're not
want to
gonna run.
Others for the Avenue B location.
Harris, you're not gonna run away from me, okay? Because I'm gonna have to chase you. Okay? And I got like 6 other cars coming to chase you.
I don't care.
All right?
I don't care.
Well, come and talk to me, please.
No, I don't want to.
Dear. What is it? What is going on? What did you tell your mom? What did you tell your mom?
I'm not going to.
Huh?
I'm not going.
Huh?
I'm not going.
That's fine. But what did you tell your mom?
What?
What happened? Why are you so upset?
She stabbed my dad.
Who did? She did? Okay.
That was my blood you seen off of my lip.
It was not, because when he walked in the house, he was holding his stomach.
It was my blood. How the hell?
So your lip gonna bleed all the way down to your stomach to your
Fighting
pants.
on the porch.
Who's
yes.
your dad?
You grown little girl. You're grown as a.
Who's your
What you
dad?
talking about? Look at you.
Who's your
That was
dad?
your blood of your lip. That much blood?
Yes, he had me in the head like you finna really make me do.
Ma'am,
Really finna go in on. Now, cause she's 9 years old and she's really behind. That's why she's
Here's
done.
what happened.
That's why she's done.
That
It's
was not
okay.
her
You
blood.
sit there, watch this man put his hands on me all the time. All the time.
Did you stab him?
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
How do you know that?
Because
Right, how do you know that?
Yes, because when he walked in the
Come
house,
to my car, let's
when he
talk.
walked
It's
in the
freezing
house,
out. Come on.
he was holding. Okay, so your
Hold on.
lip gonna
I'm
go
not-
with his blood. And
He had me in the headlock.
I'm not
So you
saying.
stabbed him?
I'm sitting here arguing with it. Yeah, until I stabbed him. I stabbed him.
Yes, you
Okay.
did.
I just put the police on him. They gonna find him.
No.
He is.
No.
They gonna find
Dear,
him.
just
And
come
we
with
gonna
me to
see.
my
You
car,
gonna- You gonna
right?
get your sitting here lying.
I'm not.
Come on.
I'm not going to listen.
First of all, Steviana,
Uh-huh.
you gonna bring to this house, and I'm gonna ask you one more time. You gonna bring to this house if I yoke your ass up and drag you home? I got custody. You're my child, so you gonna take this home right now, and you gonna take your house.
All right, come on. Hold on. Not helping you.
Go to in the house now.
Come on.
47.
Come on. Ma'am,
I wish you might.
if you want my help, just get up. all right?
You might.
I'm gonna commit a murder.
Stop.
I'm committing murder.
Who is you talking to like that?
Get away.
Who is you talking to like that? Who is you talking to like that?
No.
Come on. You gotta come.
Who is you talking to like that?
Come on. Come on, dear. All right, listen.
now.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Go back to the house. Go back to the house. All right. Dear, you're not running away from me. You're not running away. Come on.
Can I help ya?
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Can I help ya? Can I help you?
Come on.
I'm fuck ya. Can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you?
All right, let's go. Stop. Enough.
Can I help you?
Enough.
You can suck my. And you can suck. And you can suck my. Up.
Enough.
What up? What up? But push your about me. What up?
Come on. Stop.
What up?
Stop.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Get out the car.
Stop.
Get out the
Stop.
car. Get out the car. Right, you still talking. Let me go. Still talking
4-7.
though.
Yeah, Mom's trying to start a fight with cars by now, so get a couple cars down. Stop.
Stop.
Put her in your car.
No! No!
Yeah. Stop.
I want my dad!
You gotta tell. Listen, you gotta tell this officer where you
I
pulled
want
him.
my dad!
Come on.
I'm not going over. I want my dad!
247. We don't need you here. Hey! Get back in your house!
Going to assist.
Have a seat.
No! I want my dad!
You're not gonna run off.
I want my dad!
Stop.
I want my dad! I'm not getting in no car! I want my dad! I want my dad! No! Stop! Oh my God! Okay. Wait, my mom, she's pregnant though.
You done?
My mom pregnant. Yeah, because
Stop.
I want my dad. Give me a breathe. I want my dad, please.
Lost for SR. Mom's still trying
Wait,
to play.
please. Can you go help my mom? She's
by.
pregnant. Can you go help my mom?
Daughter's in
She's
custody.
pregnant. Please.
Let's go.
Please,
Get
help.
up.
I want my dad.
Get up.
I want my dad. I want my dad.
Car out here. I'm not gonna eat either of this.
I want my
I
dad.
got one car out here.
My dad.
Get in the car! Get in the car now! Okay? What are you doing? What are you doing? Because you're gonna go to jail now too.
I want my dad. Wait. I just want to see my dad, please.
Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. I don't care if you get in the car. Get in the car!
I don't know.
Yeah. No.
But you need to get warm.
Get in the car! Mom's. I'm ready to take mom to jail too.
Okay? But you need to get warm. Otherwise you'll be okay? I'll do it. Here?
I don't know.
Yeah. No. Her hands are freezing.
Look at me. Look at me. Don't look anywhere else. I
Get in the
promise,
car. I'm
okay?
done telling you. Get in the car.
This is it, hon.
Get in the car.
Sit back. I know, you gotta sit back.
Too hard.
Don't do it. Sit back. Hon.
247. You got a rig stage.
I don't want you to sit back. Then sit back.
Yes, there is a
Last
rig
chance, otherwise pepper spray going in your eyeball. Come on, let's go.
All right, just keep him staged for a minute. Huh?
Fresh, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
How are you, Fred?
Just need a neighborhood check.
Yeah, I got
Mom's out here. I catch. Mom's out here trying to fight people driving by.
House? I'll go right now.
129. She's the one that called originally.
Okay, what do you want, a depot or what?
I'm ready to take mom.
I'll take Mom's stress and I'll go arrest her.
I will call him. Sit back.
I mean, I really.
Come on, they're losing their patience.
Relax, dear. You're gonna be just.
You gotta tell. Listen, you gotta tell this officer.
I want my dad. I'm not going over. I want my dad.
We don't need you here.
Hey, get back in your house.
Going to
Here, just go have a seat.
No, I want my dad.
You're not gonna run off.
I want my dad.
Yes, you're gonna be fine.
Stop.
I got
I want my dad. I'm not getting in no car till I see my dad.
Here, just stop for a second.
I want my dad.
out.
Control 47. I'm in the.
I want my dad! No!
Stop. Don't kick us, dear.
Stop! Oh my God!
Stop, dude. Just relax.
Okay,
You
wait, my
done?
mom, she's pregnant.
Are you done?
My mom
Are you done?
pregnant. Oh, yes, please just
Stop.
let me go. I want my dad.
Stop. You're you good? 2-4, Sean.
I want.
I know.
Walk for us, sir. I'm still trying to fight.
Ma'am, hey, get out of the street for me. Get out of the street. Get out of the street for me. Just stand out of the street.
I want my dad. I want my dad. I
Let's
want
go to
my
this side.
dad.
It might be either this.
I want my dad.
I got one car out here.
I want my dad. I want
You
my
gotta
dad.
stop and take a breath. You're alright.
Stop.
Can I just see my dad, please? I want my dad. Wait, can I just please get the snow off of me?
I'll get the snow off you.
It's cold.
You've had your chance.
Get in the car now.
Okay?
Okay.
You've had your chances.
I want
What are
my
you
dad.
doing?
I want
What are
my
you
dad.
doing?
I want
You're
my
gonna go to jail now.
I want my
Have a
dad.
seat,
Wait,
dear.
I just want to see my dad, please. For the last time.
Get
I
in the
want my dad.
Get in the car.
I demand it.
I don't care what you demand. Let's go.
She's got her leg underneath my car.
Stop! I want my dad. I want my dad.
Stop or you're gonna get yourself hurt.
Stop! He's hurting me. I want to. Oh my God!
Then get in the car.
Please help somebody. No!
You want me to grab it from the other side?
I want my dad. Stop!
Listen her up.
Stop!
Sit up.
No!
You're acting like a
I want
child.
to go. I
Stop.
am a child.
I'm just went back to the house.
My arm! I have a bad arm.
Stand up. Stand up.
Yeah, let
I have a
Stand
bad
up.
arm.
Then stand up.
Get up, come on.
I want my dad.
Come on.
I can't hurt. She's on the
I want
ground.
a girl officer.
Stand up. Stand up.
Girl officer.
I'm right here. You're gonna get sprayed.
I want a girl officer.
Stand up.
Stand
baby.
up.
I want a girl. Please don't stand up for me.
Okay, they'll get off of you, but you have to get up, okay? Will you get up? Can you let go over? I got her. I got her. Come on. I will. They will let go, but you gotta stand up. Stand up. Will you stand up for me? Will you stand? Hey, look at me. Stand up.
I can't the way I'm sitting.
Ready?
I want my
Yep. Good job.
Little
One more.
bit
my arm.
A little bit more.
Look. Good, there you go.
He's pulling too hard.
Chill. It's okay. I know. I know. Go ahead.
Are you
Sit
gonna?
back for her. Sit back for him.
I'll let go if you're gonna be.
Sit
If
back
you're gonna
for her so
stop.
he doesn't pull you, okay?
I want my dad.
I'll find your dad, okay? But you need to sit back. Put your foot here.
No,
And sit
I
back.
want my dad.
I'm gonna get your dad, okay? But you need to get warm, otherwise you're gonna get hypothermia. So sit back, okay? I'll get your dad, I promise.
Oh my dad.
Is he here?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll find him, okay? But you, and look at me. I can't find your dad until you sit back and I can close the door, okay? I will find your dad, so sit back. I promise. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Don't look anywhere else. I
Get in
promise.
the car.
Okay?
I'm done telling you. Get
This
in
is
the
it.
car.
This is it, hon.
Get back in the car
You
then.
gotta sit back.
Too hard.
He won't do it if you sit back. Come on.
What the heck am I doing?
We'll fix them once you sit in the car. Come on.
I want my dad.
Come on. I'm gonna fix for you and I don't want to. So sit back. Then sit back. Come on.
I want my
This is your last chance. Otherwise, pepper spray's going in your eyeballs. Come on, let's go.
Sorry, just keep me safe for a minute.
Come on.
I want my dad.
Come on. I'm gonna go get him. Now sit back. Come on. I will fix it. I will fix it.
We need to, why don't we separate them outside?
Let's just sit
I
back.
want to see my dad.
Not until you sit back. Come on. Not until you sit back.
Please
Sit
don't,
back.
please.
Come on. Put your legs together. It's your last chance.
I want my
Last chance. I'm going to go get your dad.
I want my dad.
Come on.
I want to call him.
I will call him. Sit back. Come on. They are losing their patience. Okay? Come on.
I want my dad.
Come on. Good job. Come on. You're almost there. Come on.
I want my dad.
Use this.
What's her name?
I
street. What's her name?
Sit back.
Dear, why, just stop for a second and take a deep breath. Hey, just stop.
Please, I will get your dad.
No, you said that you were gonna pepper spray me. No, please, no, stop.
Sit back.
Stop. I got a bad arm.
Just spray
I
her.
do not know I have
Just
a bad
spray her at this
arm.
point.
Stop.
Dear. I got her. I got her.
Please wipe my eye. Wipe my eye, please.
Unbelievable.
So this is the New York Times, right? It says Rochester police pepper sprayed 9-year-old footage shows, right? The incident brought renewed scrutiny to a department whose officers had placed a hood on Daniel Prude, a black man, before he died from suffocation. Says the police department of Rochester, New York released body camera footage that showed a 9-year-old girl being handcuffed and pepper sprayed by officers who responded to the family disturbance, right? This was written yesterday, January 31st, 2021. Says the police department in Rochester, New York released body camera footage on Sunday that showed a 9-year-old girl being handcuffed and pepper sprayed by police officers who had responded to a family disturbance call. During the incident, which occurred Friday afternoon, officers restrained the girl, pushing her into the snow in order to handcuff her while she screamed repeatedly for her father, the footage showed. At one point, an officer said, "You're acting like a child." She responded, "I am a child." When she refused to sit inside a police car, an officer pepper sprayed her. The incident was brought renewed scrutiny to the Rochester Police Department months after the city was roiled by the disclosure that Daniel Prude, a black man, suffocated to death last year after Rochester police officers had placed him in a hood. The handling of Mr. Prude's death prompted the city's mayor to abruptly fire the police chief in September, and the department faced accusations of a cover-up after it was revealed that officers had characterized Mr. Prude's death as a result of a drug overdose. In Mr. Prude's case, the body camera footage was released 6 months after his death, only after his family had sued the city. Officials at the time of the death sought repeatedly to hide the videos from the public to prevent damaging fallout, according to city documents released last year. At a news conference on Sunday, police department leaders pledged to be more transparent, releasing the body cam footage of the girl being pepper sprayed about 48 hours after the incident. The video was redacted to blur out her face, and her name was not being publicly released. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that for a 9-year-old to be pepper sprayed is okay, said Rochester Police Chief Cynthia Harriet Sullivan. The city's mayor, Lovely Warren, said the girl reminded her of her own 10-year-old daughter. "I can tell you that this video, as a mother, is not anything that you want to see." Miss Warren said, her voice rising with emotion, right? "This is not something that any of us should want to justify, can justify," she added, "and it's something we have to change." She and police officials urged the city police officers to respond to incidents with more empathy and compassion, saying that officers needed better training in de-escalation and that the department required an overhaul in its internal culture. The incident highlighted the long-standing problem that in many police departments, officers are trained to subdue violent suspects and often are poorly equipped to deal with people who are distraught or mentally ill. Right? It says on Friday afternoon, officers received a 911 call reporting family trouble and arrived to find a 9-year-old girl dressed in black, in a black hoodie and colorful leggings. She indicated that she wanted to kill herself and she wanted to kill her mom. Deputy Police Chief Andre Anderson said on Sunday, the girl initially tried running away. Mr. Anderson said she repeatedly screamed at the officers, "I want my dad." As the officers handcuffed her, she pleaded with them to stop. Her body covered in snow, the video footage showed. The officers tried to escort her into the back of the police car so that she could be transported to the hospital, Mr. Anderson said. Distressed and emotional, the girl said she did not want to enter the car until she saw her dad, the video showed. The officers grew increasingly impatient and stern. She kicked one of the officers, Mr. Anderson said. Other officers urged her to relax and take a deep breath. Finally, an officer said, "Just spray her at this point." She screamed. After an officer sprayed her in the face with an irritant, the officers placed her into the back of the seat and shut the door. "Unbelievable," an officer said. The scene played out in front of homes in an area that appeared to be a residential neighborhood. The video showed at least 6 police vehicles that had arrived to respond to the call. The girl was transported to a hospital and has since been released. Right? So the girl is released. So now I'm about to break down the video to see. I first saw the video first, then I read the article. So now I'm gonna try to break it down, alright? I'm gonna watch this again.
I just gotta talk. You're not in trouble. Come here. Come here. Stop. You're not in trouble. Come here. Come here. I'm not gonna walk all the way down the street for you. Come here. It's freezing out.
So already we have a problem, right? The police is telling you, "Come here, stop, you're not in trouble," and she refuses to stop. That's already an issue right there. Once the police tell you to stop, you have to stop. Because once you don't listen to what they say, things escalate, right? And this is exactly what happened.
No!
Stop. 247.
I am not.
247.
I got her at 76 Harris. Just start a rig.
Now, she's obviously scared because she's hugging on the post, right? Children tend to do that because they don't want, she understands that she's about to be taken away right now. So she's hugging the post or the pole, right? So clearly she's scared. So I think, okay, so the cops should take that into consideration as well.
Get off of me!
Stop. What's going on?
Get off of me!
What's going on?
Get off of me!
I'm not gonna get off.
Ah,
What is going on? How can I help you?
get off of me.
No,
I
because
don't want
you're
to
not
be
gonna run.
there!
Harris, you're not gonna run away from me, okay? Because I'm gonna have to chase you, okay? And I got like 6 other cars coming to chase you.
I don't care.
All right?
I don't care.
Well, come and talk to me, please.
Oh, I don't want to.
So now, the cops said, I have 6 other cars that's gonna chase you, or that's coming after you, right? That's coming right now. He shouldn't have said that, because she's clearly scared, she's frightened. And the fact that you said 6 other cars is coming, you know, is this only gonna make her even more scared? Her response says she doesn't care, but clearly she does care, right? You know, sometimes kids say things to put on a brave face, but she's truly scared at this point. So he shouldn't have said, I'm gonna send 6 other cars is coming after you, right? Or coming here, right? That's the bad message. He should just continue asking what's wrong. That's what he should do. He should continue, asking her what's wrong, what's happening, why are you crying, why are you so upset. He should continue saying that.
Dear, what is going on? What did you tell your mom?
What
did you tell your mom?
I'm not worried.
Huh?
I'm not going there.
Huh?
I'm not going there.
That's fine. But what did you tell your mom?
What?
What happened? Why are you so upset?
She stabbed my dad.
Who did? She did? Okay.
My lip.
It was not, because when he walked in the house, he was holding his stomach.
It was my blood. How the hell?
So your lip gonna bleed all the way down to your stomach, to your
Fighting
pants.
on the porch.
Who's
Yes.
your dad?
Grown little girl. You're
Who's
grown
your-
as a. I
who's
don't know
your
what
dad?
you're talking about. Look at you.
Who's your
That
dad?
was your blood of your lip. That much blood?
Yes, he had me in the head after. You finna really make me do.
Man.
Really?
Okay. So now, we read the article, and nowhere in the article did it state that the 9-year-old girl claimed that the mom stabbed the father. You see? The article said that she's mentally ill. That's what the article said. But I don't know if that's true. You know, we got to see medical reports to see if she's truly mentally ill. Right now, the girl seems perfectly in her mind right now. It seems like she's running away because the mom stabbed the father, according to her. But now we have the mom's rebuttal, and the mom said, he had me in a headlock. So clearly, there's been fighting between the mom and the father. So maybe the father was abusing the mom. The father had her in a headlock, according to the mom. So in order for her to get away, maybe she injured the father. According to this girl, the mom stabbed the father, right?
Because she's 9 years old and she's really behind. That's what she's done. That's what she's done. It's okay. You sit there and watch this man put his hands on me all the time. All the time.
Did you stab him?
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
How do you know that?
Because
How do you know that?
Yes, because when he walked in the
Come to
house,
my car, let's
when he
talk.
walked
It's
in the
freezing
house,
out. Come on.
he was holding. Okay, so your
Hold on.
lip gonna
I'm
go
not-
with his blood.
He has me in the headlock.
I'm not
So
saying.
you stabbed him?
I'm sitting there arguing with it. Yeah, so I stabbed him. I stabbed him?
Yes, you did.
I just put the police on him. They're gonna find him.
No.
He is.
No.
They're gonna find him.
Dude, just
If
come
you
with
gonna
me to
see,
my
you
car,
gonna get
right?
your for sitting here lying.
I'm not.
Come on.
I'm not going to that.
First of all, Steviana, you gonna bring to this house, and I'm gonna ask you one more. You gonna bring the to this house if I yoke your ass up and drag you home. I got custody. You're my child. So you gonna take home right now, and you gonna take your house.
All right, hold on. Not helping you.
I understand that the 9-year-old is your child, right? And you want her to come back home. I understand that, she's a mother, she wants her child to come back home. However, you can't be grabbing the child right in front of the police. That's a big no-no. The police is right there. The child is not going anywhere. The child is in the police custodies now, right? So for the mom to be grabbing up on the daughter, that's a big red flag right there. And the thing is, the child said, "You stabbed the father," and the mom says no. So now is up for the police to actually see what happened. Where's the father in all of this? Is he still in the house? Did he run away? Is he going for help? What's happening?
In the house now.
Come on.
47.
Come on. Man,
I wish you might.
if you want my help, just get up.
I wish you might.
Stop.
Because you talking to like that. Get away. You talking to like that. You talking to like that. No.
Come on, you gotta come.
Because you talking to like that.
So it's kind of hard to hear what the girl said. I think she said, the 9-year-old said, "I'm gonna murder you," and this is why the mom is getting upset and said, "Who the hell do you think you're talking to like that?" It's kind of hard to hear what she said, but I'm gonna rewind it.
You talking to like that.
Stop.
Because you talking to like that. Get away. You talking to like that. You talking to like that. No.
Come on, you gotta come.
Because you talking to like that.
Come on, dear.
So now we see she's still resisting arrest as a 9-year-old, right? She's a child, right? So she doesn't have the same comprehension as an adult, right? And this is hard. I mean, as parents, right? I don't have any kids, but my parent always told me, "Yo, if the cop tells you to do something, you just do it, because you don't want things to escalate and things to go south real fast, right?" So we have this 9-year-old that's not listening to the authorities, right? And some people might say, she's wrong for it. And then there's other people might say, she doesn't have the understanding of a grown adult. These things are hard. However, she should listen to police. Like she has to, you know. Everyone has to. If the cops tell you to stop, you have to stop. You know.
All right, listen, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Go back to the house. Go back to the house. All right. Here, you're not running away from me. You're not running away. Come on.
Can I help ya?
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Can I help ya? Can I help you?
Come on.
Can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you?
All right, let's go. Stop. Enough.
Can I help you?
Enough.
And you can suck my. And you can suck. And you can suck my.
Now this is the problem with black people. We have a black person. I don't know if there's two people, the driver and the passenger. I don't know if they're both black, but they started laughing when they seen the cops arresting the 9-year-old, or when and the mom is addressing it, right? Why do black people have to be this way? Just go about your business, move on. So now it's just like, now the mom is being very confrontational to the driver and the passenger because they made fun of her, or they laughing at the situation that this 9-year-old is in. We got to do better, man. This is horrible. She should just move about her business. It doesn't concern her. Just go about your way.
Enough.
About me. What up?
Come on, stop. Stop.
What up? Get up.
Stop.
Now the mom wants to fight.
Right, you still talking. Let me go.
4-7. Yeah, mom's trying to start a fight with cars by now, so get a couple cars done. Stop. Put her in your car.
No!
Yeah. Stop.
I want my dad!
Listen, you gotta tell this officer.
So, we still see her resisting arrest. Once another cop comes, that's when she screams, "I want to see my dad," right? If you didn't see the whole thing, right, you would never have this context why she wants to see her father, right? Because the article nowhere did it state that the girl claimed her father got stabbed. So now she says she wants to see her father. Is she saying that because the father truly got stabbed? Or is she saying that as a way to not get arrested? We don't know. We don't know.
I'm not going nowhere. I want my dad.
247, we don't need you here. Hey! Get back in your house!
Going with him.
No! I want my dad!
You're not gonna run off.
I want my dad!
Stop.
I want my dad! I'm not getting in no car! I want my dad! I want my dad! No!
All right. So now she's resisting arrest and she just kicked the officer. I understand she's 9 years old, but you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that to the police. You see, in the beginning, the cop was being sympathetic and trying to understand her issue. He asked her, what's going on? What's wrong? What's wrong? And then she explained the situation. It seems like the mom and the father had an altercation. They was fighting. There's probably history of abuse in that household. And now the cops is trying to, bring her in to protect her because she can't be by herself. She cannot be by herself out in the streets, right? And that home seems very hostile. If she gets back in the house, who knows what the mom is going to do to her? We don't know. We don't know. Most likely the mom is just going to get upset, maybe punish her at the most, and think life will continue. But she doesn't want to go back home because she claims the mom stabbed the father, and now she's resisting arrest. So
Okay, wait, my mom, she's pregnant though.
done?
My mom pregnant. Oh, yes,
Stop.
So now we see the daughter saying, my mom is pregnant, my mom is pregnant. Has nothing to do with anything. So now it's just like, she's probably using the mom being pregnant as an excuse for her not to get arrested. Which is, because now she messed up. She resisted arrest. He tried to bring you in. You kicked the cop. And now when you get arrested, you want to say you want to see your father, right? And now you said, my mom is pregnant. It's already too late. It's already too late.
I want my dad, please.
Lost arrest, sir. Mom's still trying
Wait,
to play.
please. You go help my mom. She's pregnant. You go help my mom.
Daughter's in
She's
custody.
pregnant. Please.
Let's go.
Please,
Get
no.
up.
I want my dad.
Get up.
I want my dad. I want my dad.
Car out here.
All right. So now, the 9-year-old is saying, go help my mom because she's pregnant. If she's using that as an excuse to run away, I don't know. Now she's screaming even louder that she wants her father. And this is the part that's heartbreaking because it's heartbreaking because now she's crying out for her father. Clearly now she's just like in full panic mode, right? And kids do that all the time. Whenever they're in full panic mode, they want their parent, they want their mom, they want their father, because that is, that's their comfort. That's the ones who's gonna protect them. So now she's crying out for her father, right? And it's painful to watch her crying out for her father, right? We have these big white dudes and one black girl. Now, this is not about race. It's not about race at all. It's not. But the visuals, the optics look bad. We already live in a racial society, right? Where white cops are despised by black people. And now to see this footage here, it doesn't look good. However, since I watched the video already, it's not a race issue. It is not a race issue. It's just a little girl, a 9-year-old girl, resisting arrest. That is what it is. Objectively speaking, that is what it is.
I want my dad.
Got one car out here.
I will say this. Now, the cops didn't put her on the ground. See, it looks bad, but she was resisting the cops and she fell on the ground. As you can see in the beginning, when the cops placed, it's kind of hard because the cops was trying to take her in and handcuffing her. And it's unclear if the cops pushed her to the car or she was trying to remove the cop's hand and she leaned back and, was, placed on the car. And when they tried to arrest her, this is when she tried to slip down and kick her. That's what happened. The cops did not use force when she was on the floor. They applied force when they was trying to handcuff her because she didn't want to, she was resisting arrest. You know, they applied force when they grabbed her arm, of course, and placed it behind her back. That's what happened.
Get in the car! Get in the car now! Okay? What are you doing?
See?
What are you doing?
She's not listening, so the cops are screaming at her.
Get in the car. Get in the car.
They're asking her repeatedly, they're asking her over and over, get in the car. She's screaming, I want my dad.
Get in the car. Mom's ready to take mom to jail too.
Okay? But you need to get warm. Otherwise, you don't okay? I'll do it. I don't know. Okay.
Good? Yeah, he's prayer? No.
Every day, I'm going to sit back and I can close the door.
Her hands are freezing.
Look at me. Okay, Ann.
Now things have escalated to, it's escalated and it's looked bad. Now we see so much different cops in the neighborhood, and the cops just said, I'm gonna arrest mom too. And rightfully so, because we didn't see the mother's face, but in the beginning of the video, the girl said, you know, her lip is busted, right? And the mom claimed, you know, she was in a headlock. So, and the father and the little 9-year-old girl said the father got stabbed. So now the police has to investigate. Now the police has to, you know, see what's happening. So they had to bring in the mom in too. All right?
Get in the car. I'm done telling you. Get in the car. Get in the car.
Too hard. I'll do it. Sit back.
247.
Now, we see a female cop trying to handle this girl right now. And it makes perfect sense. She's a 9-year-old girl. You know, maybe a woman can convince her to go inside. See, the males had their chance, and they don't want to apply force or physical force beyond what she can handle as a 9-year-old. So the woman has her chance, right? And it makes perfect sense. You know, she's a female, so let the female handle it. Maybe she has more experience talking, she would have a better success in talking her down. But clearly, she doesn't want to go inside. Had this been a grown man already, he would have been placed inside that car. No questions asked. 1, 2, 3. The cops would have just picked him up, threw him in there. But they showing compassion to this little girl. She's 9 years old. They showing as much compassion and as much patience as possible. They trying to convince her, please get in the car, get in the car. They said it over and over again.
You got a rig stage? Alright, just keep him staged for a minute. Good? Yeah, I'm good. Just need a neighborhood check. Mom's out here. Mom's out here trying to fight people driving by.
I'll go right now.
129. She's the one that called originally.
Okay, what do you want, a depo or what?
I'm ready to take Mom.
I'll take Mom's dress and I'll go arrest her.
I will call him.
I mean, I really.
Relax, dear. You're gonna be just.
Listen, you gotta tell this officer.
I want my dad. I'm not going over. I want my dad.
We don't need you. Hey, get back in your house.
So now this is video footage from a different perspective, right? This is another cop with his camcorder on, his camera on. So now we learned that the mom is the one that called 911. Why did she call 911? Is it because she had a scuffle with the father? Is it because the girl is trying to run away from home? We don't know. We don't know. We didn't read that in the reports. Or if it was in the reports, I don't remember. But we don't know why the mom called 911. See? So the police is taking her in too.
Let's go have a seat.
No, I want my dad.
I'm not gonna run off.
I want my dad.
Yes, you're gonna be fine. Stop.
I want my dad. I'm not getting in no car until I see my dad.
Here, just stop for a second.
I want my dad.
You see? Again, the police did not push her to that car. You see, they did not push her to the car. She's just, we saw the police grabbing her hand, right? And she's trying to, she's trying to remove the police holds off of her. We see that. And now she backed herself into the car and she doesn't want to go anywhere. So now she she's trying to lay down and use all her dead weight. That's what kids do. Kids do this all the time. Kids do this all the time. Whenever you trying to play tag or trying to bring a kid in and they don't want to be caught, they don't want to go, they kind of sit down, right? They have tantrums. They have tantrums because they don't want to be brought into, police authority. They don't want to go to the principal. They don't want the teachers to look at them. Kids do this all the time. She's throwing a tantrum right now.
Control 47, I'm in
I want my dad. No.
Stop. Kick us, dude.
See, she's throwing a tantrum, and now we see her kick the police from a different angle. This looks bad. All right, this looks bad. This is where the police messed up. We see one of the police officers have his hands placed on her head, shoving her head on the snow. That's bad for the police. They shouldn't have done that. Cause when she's trying to run away, she slipped in the ice, and now it's better for the police to grab her because she's on the ground, right? Now they can have full access to her arms and arrest her. But him planting his hands on top of her, that's a big no-no. That's a big red flag right there. She's 9 years old. 9 years old.
Just relax.
Okay, wait, my mom's just pregnant.
Are you done?
My mom's pregnant.
Stop.
I want my dad.
Stop. You're good before sure.
I want.
I know.
I'm still trying to fight.
Ma'am, hey, get out of the street for me. Get out of the street. Get out of the street for me. Just get out of the street.
I want my dad. I want my dad. I want my dad.
It might be either this.
I want my dad.
I got one car out here.
I want my dad. I want my dad.
Stop.
You're alright?
Stop.
Can I just see my dad, please? I want my dad. Wait, can I just please get the snow off of me?
I'll get the snow off.
It's
Get in
cold.
the car.
You've had your chance.
Get in the car now.
Okay?
Okay?
You've had your chances.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I want
You're
my
gonna go to jail now.
I want my dad. What?
Now, if you came into this video at this point and you didn't see what happened prior or before that point, you would think that the police just grabbed her out of her home or out in the streets and is trying to place her inside the cop car, the vehicle, and she's screaming for her father. If you've seen this video from that point and didn't see anything before, you would think the police is a scumbag. You would think the police is horrible because you don't have any context. It looks bad. She's screaming for her father. What happened to her father? Nobody knows. Nobody truly knows. And it's not placed in the article what happened to her father. You see? All the article said is that she has some sort of, she's mentally ill and she resisted arrest. She's resisting arrest and she's crying out for her father. Now we got to see the medical reports to see if she's truly mentally ill. We have to see this, right? Because if she's not, then she's throwing a tantrum, right? She doesn't want to be arrested, and this is why she's calling out for her father, and this is why she's saying her mom is pregnant. It looks bad, but again, if the cops stop you, right, you have to stop. You cannot resist arrest. You cannot. Especially as a black person in America. You can't. You can't. It is what it is. You can't resist arrest. If the cops have you, just do what the cops say. You have a greater chance of surviving. Parents, you have to teach your kids this. It don't matter if the cops want to stop you for any reason. You got to listen so you could come out of this alive, so you could come out of this not hurt. This looks bad. From that point, if you didn't see the rest of the video before, this looks bad for the police. Without any context, that would look bad for the police.
I just want to see my dad, please. For the last time. I want my dad.
Get in the car.
I demand it.
I don't care what you demand. Let's go.
She's got her leg underneath my car.
Stop! I want my dad. I want my dad.
Stop! Or you're gonna get yourself hurt.
Stop! He's hurting me. I want to. Oh my God!
Hey, get in the car!
Please help somebody.
Yeah, this looks bad for the police because she's 9 years old. You're grown men, and you're pushing her inside. I get it. You know, what else can you do? You try talking to her. She doesn't want to listen. You try to calm her down. She doesn't want to calm down. And we have a grown man pushing in a 9-year-old, using force to get her inside. She's 9 years old. It looks bad, yes. This part looks absolutely horrible. A 9-year-old girl being shoved inside by a grown man. And what's even worse is she's black and he's white. The optics does not look good. Visually, this is not appealing at all, right? But I will say this, just a side note. Fathers, it's important that the fathers are in the household. It's important. We clearly see how her father being present in her life. You know, she's you know, she loves her father. She loves her father, and she's probably genuinely. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna say she seems. She is genuinely concerned for her father, and she wants his protection at this point. Right? Remember, in the beginning of the video, she said the mom stabbed the father. That's what she said. So automatically she's upset because the mom, there's bickering and arguing between the mom and the father. There's bickering and argument there. And she said the mom stabbed the father. So she's genuinely concerned. And now she says she wants to see her father. And she's screaming, you know, she's repeating this over and over again. You see?
Somebody grab him from the other side.
I want my dad. Stop!
Sit up.
Stop!
Sit up.
No!
You're acting like a
I
child.
want to go. I am a child.
Yeah, that was a bonehead move by the cop. That was stupid. Why would you say you're acting like a child? And now the girl said, I am a child. That's stupid. That was stupid. That was a stupid remark he made. You know? Again, now having this on tape, it looks bad. Now it seems like the cop doesn't even know what he's doing. Now it seems like the cop is incompetent. He can't even recognize that this is a child. And the child is correcting you saying, I am a child. That looks horrible.
I just went back to the house. Stand up. Stand up.
Yeah, let that
Stand up.
Arm.
Then stand up.
Get up. Come on.
I want my dad.
Come on.
Another thing too, right? She's saying, I have a bad arm. She said that multiple times. Is it true? See, sometimes kids say things so they can get out of trouble. Or they say things so they can get their way. Is it true that she has a bad arm? Nobody knows. But the fact that she says it on camera and the cops is, you know, using force to take her arms and handcuffing her, and they pulling on her arm so they could drag her inside, right? That looks bad as well. That looks horrible. You see? Because now let's say if it is true, her arm, she has a bad arm. It seems like the cop is trying to break it, honestly. Or it seems like the cop is tugging on that bad arm to get her to get her inside the, you know, the cop car. You know, whether the cops are right and they perform their duties exactly correct by the book, the visuals look horrible. The optics on this looks absolutely horrible.
I can't hurt. She's on the
Stand
ground.
up. Stand up. Stand up.
Officer.
I'm right here.
You're gonna get sprayed.
Yeah, I want a girl officer.
Stand up.
Stand up.
I want to. Please don't stand up for me.
Okay. They'll get off of you, but you have to get up, okay? Will you get up? Can you let go of her? I got her. I got her. Come on. I will. They will let go, but you gotta stand up. Stand up. Will you stand up for me? Will you stand? Hey, look at me. Stand up.
I can't the way I'm sitting.
Ready? Yep. Good job.
A little bit more.
My arm.
A little bit more.
Look.
All right. So now the woman cop female officer says, let go of her, I got this. And now the female is asking her to stand up. The female officer is asking the 9-year-old girl to stand up. She said, I can't because the way she's positioned, right? Okay, fine.
But there you go.
He's pulling too hard.
Chill. It's okay. I know.
He's pulling too
Go ahead.
hard.
Sit back for her. Sit back for him. Okay.
I'll let go if you're
Sit back
gonna
for her so
stop.
he doesn't pull you, okay?
Okay. This is where the cop is also wrong. The female officer says, stand back, I got it. I'll take care of it. And he's still pulling on her arm. He's still pulling on her. At this is an uncomfortable position to have both your hands behind your back. It's cold. And that's metal handcuffs, right? And he's still pulling on her arm. That's a big no-no and a big red flag for the cops right there. They get, if he's keeping score, the cops would have probably gotten like 10, 20 points removed right there. You're still pulling on her arm. At that, when your arm is like that, it's easy for your arms to break, especially a 9-year-old girl, and you're a grown man still pulling, you're pulling her from behind while she's handcuffed so she could get inside the vehicle. See? Now that's a legitimate reason for her to say, my arm's hurt. I have a bad arm. That's a legitimate reason. The cops gotta think, man. The cops gotta think. You can't be grabbing her by her arm like that. She's 9 years old.
Oh, my dad.
I'll find your dad, okay? But you need to sit back. Put your foot here.
No,
And sit back.
I want my dad.
I'm gonna get your dad, okay? But you need to get warm, otherwise you're gonna get hypothermia. So sit back, okay? I'll get your dad, I promise.
Oh, my dad.
Is he here?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll find him, okay? But you, hey, look at me. I can't find your dad until you sit back and I can close the door, okay? I will find your dad, so sit back. I promise. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Don't look anywhere else. I
Get in
promise.
the car.
Okay?
I'm telling you. Get
This
in
is
the
it.
car.
This is it, hon.
Okay. So now we have the female being as, showing her compassion and showing her sympathy and empathy for her, right? She said, please get in the car, right? And the 9-year-old still refuses to sit back in the car, right? She keeps saying, I want my father, right? And the female officer is saying, I will find your father. I will find your father, okay? But get inside the car for me. You see? She's trying to be understanding, right? She's trying her best to be understanding. But again, the 9-year-old girl still refuses to listen to the police at this point. The cop even mentioned, get inside the car because you might get hypothermia. It is cold out there. It's cold. And all she has on is a hoodie and leggings. And she still refuses to listen. You see, yes, it looks visually bad for the cops, but objectively speaking, it looks bad on the 9-year-old too, because she doesn't want to listen. She doesn't want to listen. This is not a racial thing. I don't want nobody to say, it's white cops against this black girl. I don't want to hear that, because it's not. It is not a racial thing. It's cops trying to put this 9-year-old girl in the back of a cop vehicle, and she refuses to listen to the cops. She refuses to listen to the police. That is what it is. Objectively speaking, once again, she just doesn't want to listen. And eventually, the cops is gonna get fed up. eventually the cops is gonna get fed up.
Get back in the car then.
You gotta sit back.
Too hard.
You won't do it if you sit back. Come on.
What the heck am I doing?
We'll fix them once you sit in the car. Come on.
I want my dad.
Come on. I'm gonna pay for you and I don't want to. So sit back. Then sit back. Come on.
I want my
This is your last chance. Otherwise, pepper spray's going in your eyeballs. Come on, let's go.
Now, the female, this is where she messed up. She said, sit back or else I'll pepper spray you in your eyeballs. She shouldn't have said that. I get it. You know, you don't want to harm the child, but any force applied to a 9-year-old, any kind of, it looks bad. It looks bad. It looks extremely bad. It looks extremely bad.
I want my dad.
I'm gonna go get him. Now sit back. Come on. I will fix it. I will fix it.
Why don't we separate outside?
Let's just sit
I
down.
want to see my dad.
Come on. It's your last chance.
I want my
Last chance. I'm going to go get your dad.
I want my dad. I want to call him.
I will call him. Sit back. Come on. They are losing their patience. Okay? Come on.
I want my dad.
Come on, good job. Come on, you're almost there. Come on.
I want my dad.
What's her name?
I don't know her name. What's
Bradstreet, what's her name?
Sit back.
Dear, why you just stop for a second and take a deep breath. Hey, just stop.
I will get your dad.
No, you said that you were going to pepper spray me. No, please.
Good. Now, we have one of the officers asking, what's her name, right? He's trying a different approach. He doesn't want to grab her arm any longer. When you ask somebody for their name, this is when you try to, you try to recognize that person. You try to recognize this person as a human being. You're trying to acknowledge them, right? Because maybe he can talk some reason into her, right? If she's being acknowledged. The cops should have asked that from the beginning. What's your name? They should have gotten that from the beginning, right? So maybe if they call out her name, whatever her name is, right? They can say, refer her by her name and please get inside, right? Now we see him calling her dear. You see, he doesn't know her name because none of the cops know her name, which is a big red flag right there. Now they calling her dear. Again, they're trying to show her as much patience and kindness as possible you can to a 9-year-old. But now, this is when I said earlier, the cop messed up. You see? She said, get inside. She said, no, you said you was going to pepper spray me. That's what the 9-year-old said that. No, you said you was going to pepper spray me. This is where she messed up. Now you lost her trust. You lost her trust. You see, you could have had a breakthrough as the female officer. You could have made a breakthrough and had her listen to you. But the fact that you said you're going to pepper spray her, now she views you as the enemy once again. You said you're going to call her father, but the fact that you mentioned, I'm going to pepper spray you, the 9-year-old said, no, I'm not going to listen to you because you said you was going to pepper spray me. See?
No, stop! Sit back. I got a bad arm.
Just spray her.
No, I have
Just spray her at this point.
Stop!
Dear. I got her. I got her.
Please wipe my eye! Wipe my eye, please!
9-year-old girl getting pepper sprayed twice by the female officer and by the guy behind her. She got pepper sprayed twice, right? And now the girls inside the vehicle, right? And she's begging for her eyes to be wiped. She said, "Please wipe my eyes." That's what she said. "Wipe my eyes."
Unbelievable.
Okay, so the first thing I have to say, it is not a race issue. It is not a black and white issue. It's not a racial issue. All we have is a 9-year-old girl resisting arrest and the cops trying to repeatedly get her inside the cop vehicle over and over again, right? They tried talking to her. They tried pulling her while she was handcuffed from behind by her arm. Nothing worked, right? And finally, they pepper sprayed her. Now, had this been a grown woman or a grown man, that person would have been already inside the cop vehicle. They would have just shoved that person in, no hesitations. This wouldn't have been an issue. Cops do that all the time. If you're resisting arrest, you in handcuffs, they're gonna force you and shove you in there, right? It wouldn't take all of this manpower, right? It would have taken 2 or 3 cops at the most to push the guy or the grown man or the grown female inside that vehicle, right? Or another scenario could have happened. That person could have gotten easily shot down because if that person kicked the police and resisted this arrest, that person's face would have been planted on the ground. He could have suffocated in the snow, or he would have gotten shot down. Those are 2 scenarios that would have happened. But I would like to think most likely what would happen is if they had you in handcuffs already and you still try to resist, they would have shoved you in regardless, right? So my question to you is, what would you do if you were a police officer and trying to get this 9-year-old girl inside the cop vehicle? What would you do? What would you do? You tried talking to her. You tried reasoning with her, right? You tried the female approach. We see the female officer coming inside trying to speak to her. She still wouldn't listen. She's screaming, "I want my father. I want my father." Nobody knows what truly happened to the father. Did he truly get stabbed? I don't know. Did he run away? I don't know. Is he still back in the house? We don't know. None of this we don't know. Why she's asking for her father? Nobody knows, right? But they tried so many different ways. They tried talking to her. They tried talking to her. They spent a good amount of time trying to reason with her, but she would not be reasoned with. I get it. She's 9 years old. She is 9. She's just a child. I get it. But put yourself in the cops' shoes. Place yourself in their situation. How would you handle it? Clearly, talking is not going to work. Clearly. And the cops don't want to apply force. They don't want to apply force because she's only 9 years old. The cops don't want to apply force. They don't want to risk breaking a bone. They don't want to risk her getting bruised. They don't want to risk her getting physically injured. They don't want that. They don't want that. They didn't electrocute her, right? You certainly don't want that. The cops don't want that, right? They don't want to use their batons and start wailing on her. You don't want that. The cops don't want that. So what else can they do? What else? You don't want her to get shoved in. You don't want that. Because it would look bad for the cops if grown men shoved a 9-year-old girl. It would look horrible. So what would you do in that situation? Right? I think, and you may hate me for this, but pepper spray is probably the best solution. She doesn't want to listen. They don't want to use force, so they gotta pepper spray her into the cop vehicle. Think logically. Think logically. You know, she's resisting arrest. You can't do that. When the cops say stop, you stop. When the cops say turn around, you gotta turn around. Whether you're right or wrong, you gotta listen. Because there's a greater chance that you will survive, especially in 2021, when racial tensions are very high. We have Black Lives Matter movement. We have, with all of these things happening, in 2021, there's a greater chance of you surviving if you listen to the police. It's not the same as 1960s. It's not the same as Rodney King. It's not the same. It's not the same any longer. It's hard. I know this is hard. She's only 9 years old. 9 years old. But what can you do? What would you do? Because they already tried talking to her nicely. Right? The police stumbled and made mistakes throughout this whole thing. I'm in agreement. They made a mistake when, first off, they didn't ask her name from the beginning. Right? They made a mistake and, they said they was going to pepper spray her. They made a mistake they made so much different mistakes. The video is right there, right? However, despite their mistakes, what would you have done in that situation? Clearly, this girl cannot be reasoned with. It's sad, almost heartbreaking, but it is what it is, man. So, sorry.